So I'm literally getting ready to fly out. My ride comes really soon, but Collingwood just announced their leadership group. Let's talk about it. So 2 videos in 1 day. So before, a couple of weeks ago, I said this.
My leadership group, as it stands, if we're just picking 4, is Darcy Moore as captain. We're keeping Maynard there. We're keeping Isaac Quaynor. And I'm putting Nick NAICOS in there.
Now, I predicted a 4-man leadership group because that's what we went with previously, and it looks like we've upped it to, 7 players, which is just absolutely incredible. Remember I said in that video as well, I do like the idea of having leadership group, not just, a couple of vice captains and stuff like that, but I did end up picking just the 4. So we've had big leadership groups in the past, and I said that in that video as well. So Darcy Moore will lead us into this season. So into season 2025, it's his 3rd year in charge, already a premiership captain. Brayden Maynard is in there as well as vice captain. Isaac Quaynor is in there. Nick NAICOS is in there as a vice captain. And we said this, didn't we? We said Nick NAICOS will have that leadership role. And the more surprising ones, Dan McStay, Darcy Cameron, and Jamie Elliott. I am so stoked for Jamie Elliott. What has he done? Like 15, 16 seasons. He's about to hit his 200th game. He's been riddled with injuries and then has come good these last couple of years. His body has treated him well. And he gets promoted to the leadership group. And I'm stoked for all of these guys, right? But there's just something, I don't know, it just feels like heartwarming that Jamie Elliott is there, you know? I've watched him sort of when I was growing up, and when he had the tipped hair and stuff like that. And now, after everything he's sort of been through, to see the Iceman come up and get that leadership role voted by his peers is just absolutely incredible. Another one as well, Darcy Cameron. He has just gone from, a Ned Guy special for a pack of salted vinegar chips to Sydney, to a premiership ruckman, to now in the leadership group. So his trajectory, and finishing top 3 in the Coleman, in the Copeland. So his trajectory had just gone straight up through the roof. Could also get an All-Australian this year as well, because he has been training, I hate to say it, but has been training the absolute house down. And then we end with Dan McStay being voted in. And if you go onto my Instagram, there's a bit of a writing about, he had an interview with the AFL and, saying he felt like a leader without a title, and he loved doing that. He loved helping the players, especially when he was injured with that ACL, with that MCL as well. So he was really helping the players, and that's been seen by his peers, and he's been voted into the leadership group. So the only one coming out of that leadership group is Jeremy Howe. So I think he was in there for 7 consecutive years, which is absolutely incredible. He will, obviously, he's one of the senior guys. He will do more leadership work, just hasn't got that that title of leadership group. What I do like about the 7-man leadership group, and what I talked about in that previous video a few weeks ago, is that, if there was a point where last year all of our leaders were defenders, right? And the defenders were just getting hounded, and the defense was just getting hounded last season. And people could step up here and there, but now you've got a mix of a couple of forwards, a couple of mids, and a couple of defenders. So I love that. There's a little bit of everywhere. So there's a designated leader in every section of the ground, every third of the ground. And I think that's really going to help us on field, where you actually have a voice. It's not just 4 defenders trying to tell the forwards what to do. Now, the elephant in the room we need to talk about is Nick NAICOS. I think he's the next captain of Collingwood. Does Darcy Moore put a self-imposed term on him? Does Darcy Moore have 3 years or 4 years at the helm and then sort of pass it off? There are a lot of people saying, Nick just needs to focus on footy. He, not vice captain or captain or anything like that. This guy is a natural born leader. We saw it from game 1. I keep bringing it up as an example, but we saw it in that Fremantle game where Lockie Sullivan accidentally gave away that free kick. This guy is a natural born leader, and he is just going to go to the moon. He will be Collingwood's next captain. There's no way he couldn't be, right, at this point. And to see him at, 21, 22, to see him get that vice captaincy role, and like I said as well, it's like Harry Sheezel. Harry Sheezel's the vice captain of Kangaroos, and he's played 1 less season than Nick NAICOS. So it's just the passing of the baton. It's just the passing of the baton, and it gives you a lot of hope that for the future of the Magpies, and that everything is in the best hands possible, right? Our leaders, our new GM of footy, Charlie Gardner, everyone that we've sort of put in place at the moment. We had that new era with Jeff Brown. We're going to have another new era with Barry Karp, so as president. So we're just setting these stones for the future. And could you imagine Nick Dacos, Darcy Cameron, Nick Dacos, Darcy Moore, and all these players, the leadership group holding up the cup at the end of the year? Oh boy! But I thought this was really good, surprising. Some of these players were surprising, but I love a surprise. Let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think of the leadership group? And until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets. And until next time, double shackers. I'll swoop you later.